I have my fabrics set out, cut to the specifications from the PDF in my file. I've got the golf fabric for the front and the back, and a colorful polka dot fabric for the lining. And you'll notice that it is a long piece of fabric that is folded in half and pressed. You'll also need one snap set. The first step is to stitch the placement for your snap bag. Next, you need to take a piece of your outer fabric and cover those placement stitches so far and pin. So you need to stitch the circle placement for the snap for the top, and then stitch anything you may have added, such as a monogram, a name, or any other kind of personalization. I added a name to mine, so I will be stitching that right now. All right, that name was easy. It might look upside down. It is actually going up the side of the long colored pencil case. So I just want to mention here, because I didn't mention it earlier, at times in this tutorial, I might use a different colored thread than I usually would. That is just to show you the steps more clearly so that you can see them in the tutorial. The next step is going to be placement lines for your pocket fabric. Now, these lines are going to be trimmed out of your project, so it doesn't matter what color you do them in. Just do them in something that's easy for you to see. I'm stitching mine in black. It's a step that only takes about 30 seconds. All right, you'll see now that you have arrows pointing down at the placement for your pocket. This is an arrow. So you want to grab your pocket fabric, and you want to line it up with the pressed edge up to the bottom of those arrows. See that? It's right up to the bottom. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch this. My new tripod comes tomorrow, so I'm holding my camera today. I hope that's not too distracting. The next step is going to tack down this pocket so you can move on. Again, I'm stitching that in black. Normally, I might do it in a color that matches the pocket, like white, but I just want you to be able to see clearly this step. Oh, and you should definitely pin this fabric down. I did not pin mine because I'm holding my camera with one hand, but you should definitely pin this pocket fabric at the sides and maybe the bottom to keep it stable while you stitch it. So do as I say, not as I do. Now you've got the pocket down, and it's time for the final machine step. Take your other outer piece of fabric that you cut and place it to cover the entire project so far. Make sure the print is lined up the correct way with the fold over pocket for the snap at the top. Mine is a golf fabric, so I've got my golf carts and my tees and everything facing the correct way. Pin this down, and I am going to pin this one, so I'm going to put my phone down real quick and pin it. And then you can stitch the final machine step, which will go almost all the way around the project and leave one small gap for turning. That was your last machine step, and your project should look something like this. It's got your fabric sandwich, which is your snap bag, and a small gap in the final step for turning. You can remove all your pins, remove your project from your hoop, and take it over to your desk or cutting space. After you unhoop your project, you can trim around the outside, just leaving a tab, just like we do for our zipper bags. And I did forget to mention that if you wanted to put a ribbon or a piece of elastic sticking out the side to hold a key fob or maybe a pin or something like that, you can take a piece of elastic, fold it in half like this, and then you can place the folded edge in and leave the raw edges hanging out of any part of that pocket that you stitched. You need to do that before the last step. Now, just like with a zipper bag, you need to locate the one open part of this gap right here. All of it is stitched through except this one layer. So you need to put your fingers through that one opening and turn the bag inside out completely through that hole and then press it. I have now turned my project inside out and pressed it with my iron. You still have these tabs left at that hole where you turned it. You need to push these in to the center, both of the tabs, and you need to close up that hole just like you do when you're making a zipper bag. So you can do it by hand stitching, or you can do what I do, which is I use a piece of super sticky double-sided fabric tape. I'm going to take your super sticky tape, cut off a piece just a little smaller than your tab, and you want to tape it onto one of the sides. Then you push both of the sides in. It's called fabric fuse. Peel and stick fabric fuse is what I use. Okay, so you push both of the edges in like so it's nice and straight and tight. Ooh, did you hear that thunder? It's thunder in here. And then you're going to take the liner piece off of that tape because it's double-sided. So pull that liner piece off of there. Take your time doing this because this is how your project is sealed up and you want it to be good. However, it will not be seen in the final product because you're going to fold this inside out. So you don't have to be like crazy about it. And it is a flat edge, so no one's the wiser if it's got a little bump. This stuff is super sticky, so I'm constantly pulling my fingers back. Okay, I got my fingers out, and now I'm smushing it down. So what I do is I press this again, just to make sure I've got it nice and flat, and then I will come back. All right, I have pressed my project, and now it is time for the final step. You want to reach your fingers way inside that snap bag, inside the pocket, find your corners, and push them out because you're going to turn this inside out so you can't see that edge that you just sewed or taped together. And you pull your pocket through. You need to press this again, okay? But here is the final product. This is the outside of my bag. I'm going to fold over. Here's my pocket. Going to fold over this, the top of the snap bag, locate my snap placement circle. I'm going to take my awl, that's the pointy thingy that we use, and I'm going to press it through a little bit and see if I can see this hole on the other side. Future Melissa here with an additional note. If you're using the snap bag for something thicker like a pill box, you might want to put it in before you install your snap. That way you know exactly how far you need to fold over the top of your snap bag. When I was creating this one, I was making it for a box of 12 colored pencils, so it was very thin. Now, unfortunately, I am still installing snaps by sitting in the floor and using my snap press in the floor. So I did not film that, I'm very sorry, but all you need to do is install a snap at the top in your snap circle placement and one right there where you made that hole so that it folds over and snaps. Then you take your colored pencils, insert, and voila! I hope this tutorial video has demystified the process of making a snap bag. You can find this and other great embroidery designs at designsbylittlebee.com. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll chat with you on my group. Bye!